Welcome back to Heated Conversations on Sports Radio 16.
There he is. That's that Shaq Diesel.
Yeah.
Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
What's up, Shaq? Where you at?
Uh-huh.
Can't stop it, block it, when I drop
Yeah.
it. Anytime I go rhyme for rhyme on the top.
Uh-huh.
They ain't even fit to step in Shaq's arena. I look inside your mind and I see your shook demeanor.
Yeah.
In your
Man, I
eyes,
miss
why
Big,
are you
man.
surprised?
Oh,
No
man,
matter
yeah, me
how
too.
you try, not fly as eloquence. The new
But, hey, Shaq's hitting it right here.
end of your last night in the daytime, you couldn't see me with a flashlight.
Hey.
I crash lights on sights of my
Man,
enemy.
look here, man.
I'm coming through and then I bomb your whole vicinity. Why that acting fake and chat, you're not a friend to me. I beat your card, you're not as hard as you pretend to be.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
Go
something,
ahead,
man.
Shaq.
Let me tell you this here. When you listen to this right here, that's like real music.
Shaq's rapping in 97 better than a lot of guys are rapping right now.
No, I'm serious, man.
Isn't that crazy?
The
He
thing
went
is,
platinum.
He went platinum a couple times.
I mean, this is like real music, and it's a guy that's getting like buku money to just say, let me go play around in the studio. But the thing is, he ain't playing around. He's serious.
And then,
You know?
is this here right here?
Yeah. Look here. Look here. If that ain't platinum, what is, man?
Big was so dope.
No, man. I miss that brother, man. Because I wonder what kind of, contribution to the world he really would have made here in 2018. Him and Pac and,
Man.
all the, soldiers we lost, even here in this city.
Yeah.
Big,
Big Hawk, Big Mo,
man, what would the world be like,
Fat
man?
Pat.
Yeah, man, you got to be
Pimp
kidding.
C.
Yeah. Hey, man, that just brought back some memories right there, man.
But like even like the sound of the that Can't Stop the Rain sample in the background.
You know what?
It's just got a
That's
groove
one thing.
to
That's
it.
one thing about Pac. A lot of the music Pac did, I could just listen to the music. I didn't even need to listen to the lyrics. The music was just that good. It was, I mean, you could put an R&B track to it and it roll. You know what I mean? That's real rap music. I think that's what I miss. Right now, everything's auto-tuned. It ain't no, saxophone. I don't hear no real drums. Ain't no trumpets or nothing like that playing. and you listen to Pac, you're going to get a little bit of all of that in his music. And I think that's what I loved about him more than anything. It was more than just the lyrics. Everything had to make you feel a certain way. And I think that's what I miss about those guys, man.
Well, hey, guys, we're about to tip off right now in Oracle Arena here momentarily. Rockets-Warriors Game 6. We're going to give you scores every so often here as we close out this hour until 9 o'clock. But, Book, still a lot of stuff going on here. You had a big week. Last week, you were in New York City.
New York City, baby. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a good trip, man. I took off to go to the premiere. Actually, it was a showing of the bipolar rock and roller with Mauro Ranallo, who works with the WWE as well as Showtime as well as Bellator.
Guy does a little bit of everything.
He does a little bit of everything. I've been listening to this guy's voice for so many years, and to hear the story. It was a thing going on. A couple of years ago, back when Mauro first came in, it was an incident that happened. Between him and JBL. And the thing is, it was something very, very small. It was something in most instances would have been minute, literally. But sometimes you just don't know what one person's going through. You see them on the outside and you say everything's fine, but you just don't know what's going on inside of their mind, inside of their brain, that piece of equipment that's just like a machine, man. One, faulty part could literally send the whole thing, into chaos. And that's what we don't understand, I think, about, bipolar. You hear the name bipolar, and it's been called so many different things over the years. You know what I mean? In the 60s, it was called something else. In the 70s, it was called, now in 2018, it's called bipolar. But if you have not, watched the debut of Bipolar Rock and Roller, if you haven't, checked it out, go back and, Check it out.
I think it's on Showtime.
It's on Showtime.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can on demand it and check it out. But it will really open your eyes to what bipolar really, honestly, and truly is, and how it can affect one's life. How it could just take over one's life. And I tell you, I've been knowing Mauro for quite some time, and like I said, on the outside looking in, you think everything is fine. But when you watch this documentary, you're gonna go, wow. This is eye-opening, and it's something that should be told by someone like Mauro, who's walking through it, who's willing to open up and let the world see it. Perhaps someone just like him walking through that same life don't understand what this thing is really all about. See someone who's still successful, still made it, who literally beat all the odds, you know what I mean, after being in the hospital several times, that right there is a testament to who Mauro Ranallo really is.
I'd always been aware of bipolar disorder. I've always heard it. And I think it's a term also in my lifetime that had been watered down. I think people use it as a descriptor for people like, oh, they're just acting bipolar, like a hot and cold kind of thing. And I never really was able to grasp, what it really was and how serious it was. I always thought it was just like, mood swings, really, like maybe some of our, fine women folk might have from time to time. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Our Joanna just looked at me with some eyes over there. But you know what I mean? I didn't know. I really didn't know what it was. And then when you hear Mauro talk about it and you see him go through so many dark times where, he's even contemplated ending it all. I mean, I heard him talk about that, and it's just like you don't, it's said so many times you don't really understand, but you don't really know what someone's going through. And I think this documentary, more than anything, is not only going to help people who do have that terrible, terrible disorder or disease of bipolar disorder, but it's also going to help people like you and I who weren't really educated on it and didn't know the severity of the symptoms of this disorder and what a guy like, and for Mauro Ranallo, let me say this, for him to be able to accomplish the things that he's accomplished in his life, calling the Maymack fight, right? Mayweather versus McGregor.
Okay.
To call that fight, to be able
as well as Mayweather, Pacquiao as well.
And to do so many fights with Bellator, all live on pay-per-view, to do the WWE, to do NXT, for him to accomplish all that and be fighting this at the same time is nothing short of remarkable. And if it wasn't for this documentary, I don't think my respect level of Mauro Ranallo would have been even as high as it is now. I was already respecting him for the things he accomplished, but to accomplish it with that disorder and having to deal with that on a daily basis, it's not something that he can take a pill for and never think about it again. It's not like when we go to the doctor when we have a cold and they give you the antibiotic and they say, take 2 of these every hour or what have you, right? This is something it's a daily, monthly, yearly, weekly, constant struggle dealing with. And I have so much respect for Mauro Ranallo seeing this and knowing what he went through and being able to come out the other side and still do what he wanted to do and loved to do. It's just incredible.
People respect you when you're willing to go out there and put yourself out there like that. Mauro is great at what he does. And I tell it all the time right here on the show. Cream always rise to the top. You can't hold someone down who just got, pure talent. This guy got a photogenic memory. He was a guy who was talking about how he thought it was all over. How, one breakdown, he ended up, in a hospital, and, he just knew it was over, and, and he got a phone call, you know what I mean? And that phone call, I always talk about it, guys. If someone reached their hand out and say, I'm going to give you some help, take it, man, take that help, because he found himself in a dark place, and then, everything turned around for him, and, Pacquiao, Mayweather, the biggest fight of his career, he's calling it.
Yeah,
that right there,
incredible.
It got to be incredible. I got goosebumps just thinking about it.
Yeah.
For him to have gone what he's gone through, but he knew he was going to be something in life. He knew he wasn't going to let this disease hold him back. He knew that, and for him to actually go out there and put himself out there to help others, that's the guy. I got to give him a lot of credit for that.
And you know what? Also, props to Showtime. And props to WWE. When Mauro was going through something and he had to step away from both companies, because he was fighting this battle with bipolar disorder, for both companies to reach back out to him and say, hey, Mauro, we understand. Come back. We want you here. You're part of the family. we're going to find a spot for you, and you always have a place here with us. That shows a lot about WWE and Showtime. And then Mauro to be able to, just like you said, battle through it and accomplish so many big, big things in his career. You got to give your hats off to the guy. You have to see this thing.
I think this is just going to open up so many more doors for people with this disease, because a lot of times, you know, when you're dealing with something in secret, no one knows it but you. It's definitely harder to deal with. It's like like gay people being in the closet. You know, I mean, when they come out, I'm sure they feel a whole lot better than having to just, live like that. You know, man, life is short. Can you imagine going through life and not being yourself, not having someone knowing what you're going through? And I talk about it going back to the incident with Mauro earlier, when he first came into WWE. You never know what someone's going through. I always try to treat people, with respect, because you just never know what's going on in someone's daily life. People come up to me all the time. They may see me in the grocery store and they want photos. You know what I mean? I might go to the mall, go to the movies. You know what I mean? They want to, hang out, take a selfie or whatever. They may want an autograph or whatever. And I try to make sure I do it. But I could have had a death in the family that day. I could have lost one of my best friends. Mere moments before you asked me that. So we're human, just like everyone else. We walk through it just like everyone else. We feel pain just like everyone else. But to be going through that struggle and knowing that you're in a position that you can help someone else out, I think that's a true man right there. That's a real man. That's a real man, dog. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious.
And I want to ask you though, how did he feel though? Because you were there at the premiere with him. I know you got to talk to him a little bit. Did you see him after the screening?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What was how did he feel to be in a theater with so many people seeing his struggles?
He definitely, you could tell, it touched him. It touched him, that so many people was willing to help him when he was down. People that didn't have to. People like Boz Rutan, people like Frank Shamrock, so many more people that was instrumental, in his life. His mom,
Mom can always help, can't she?
Man, it's amazing, and to see the person that he is, I give him nothing but props. And like you said, Showtime, big props to Showtime, big props to WWE for, doing their part. The setting that we had, watching the premiere there was really, really awesome. And for me, I got a phone call and I was asked, if I wanted to be a part of it, if I wanted to go, and I did not think twice if I wanted to go and support Mauro, not for a second, because I felt like I needed to learn more, like you say, about bipolar, because it's just a name that you hear.
Yeah, 100%.
And you really don't understand it unless you do some research on it, unless you know somebody with it. We know about cancer, you know what I mean? Because, someone we know perhaps have been touched by it,
but and it's something that's so prevalent, it feels like we're always told about it.
They're doing so much research on it. So much money is going into it. With bipolar, like you say, you could hear it and you could think it's, got something to do with weight loss. I'm serious. Like you say, it could, like you say, mood swings. You could think it's something other than what it really truly is. And so I say, guys, go and check out Mauro Ranallo's Bipolar Rock and Roller on Showtime, on demand. Check it out. It's a must see for anyone. I think you'll get a whole lot out of it, as well as this dude's talented, man. Guy can play piano. Guy can sing. He can do rap. He can do everything.
It's crazy.
I'm serious.
Yeah, he's great.
A lot of the music that's in the documentary is music that he did himself.
Incredible.
How awesome is that?
He's a talented guy.
What's the score of the game, man?
Rockets, Warriors tied 13-13. 5 minutes to go. Rockets up 15-13.
James Harden stepping up. Back in a minute.